Do you see this number on your screen? It is 2 undecillion. That's 2 followed by 36 zeros. That's how much Russia has fined Google. 2 undecillion rubles. If you convert it into US dollars, it is 20 decillion. That's 2 followed by 34 zeros. Chances are you've never heard of this number, and with good reason. The world GDP together, the world GDP is only $110 trillion. That's all the money there is in our world. But Russia is seeking more. Almost 181 quintillion times more. And a quintillion has 18 zeros. That's a lot of math. But Russia is basically asking for a lot of money, more money than exists in our world. Unless Google colonizes the Milky Way, that's not happening. So what is Russia trying to prove here? This whole case is about YouTube's censorship of Russia. After the invasion of Ukraine, they blocked Russian outlets. No one was allowed to defend the invasion or dismiss its significance. More than 1,000 YouTube channels were blocked. 5.5 million videos were taken down. Now, Russia says all of this is illegal. Around 17 Russian TV channels decided to sue Google in Russian courts. Obviously, these courts sided with Russian channels. They kept slapping fines on Google. Those fines have multiplied to reach this crazy number. Of course, Russia says that this is just symbolic. It is not expecting a payment.
I can't even pronounce this number, but it is more likely imbued with symbolism. Google should not restrict the actions of our broadcasters, but it does. This should be a reason for Google's management to pay attention to this and correct the situation.
It may sound funny to you, but this episode is a lesson for every country about the monopoly of US tech. Because Russia may have imposed this fine on YouTube, but they haven't banned it. And frankly, they can't. In 2022, Russia tried an alternative to YouTube. They called it RuTube. I wonder where they got that name. RuTube. At first, people signed up in large numbers, but soon the Western empire struck back. Google removed RuTube from its Play Store, and Apple removed it from the Apple Store. So the Russian alternative was throttled. Even otherwise, it did not have a chance. Nearly 300 hours of video is uploaded to YouTube every minute. 300 hours of video every minute. Imagine the bandwidth required. Imagine the computing power required. It's virtually impossible to reach that level at the moment. And it's not just video streaming. Take any modern day service. For social media, you go to Instagram or X. For messaging, you go to WhatsApp. For apps, you go to Play Store or Apple Store. For writing something, you go to Microsoft Word. For sending email, you go to Microsoft Office or Gmail. For movies, you go to Netflix or Amazon Prime. What is common among all of these? They're all American. The US can use these tools to target rivals, to shape political narratives. The US is against the Russian invasion, so pro-Russian outlets are banned. The US is not against Israel's war in Gaza, so pro-Israel outlets are not banned. It's as simple as that. Where does that leave countries without their own platforms? Countries like India, in a spot of bother. Just think back to 2021. The Indian government was locked in a standoff with Twitter. They had refused to take down certain content. In response, an Indian alternative emerged, an app called Coup. Even Indian ministers opened Coup accounts, but cut to July 2024, Coup shut down. It simply did not have the audience. And this sums up the problem in a nutshell. We don't have long-term plans to create Indian alternatives. We just have reflex actions, a momentary response to a problem. Now, to be fair, even a long-term plan is not a guarantee of success. Just look at China. They have an elaborate domestic internet infrastructure, their own versions of WhatsApp and YouTube. Inside China, it is a success. The people don't have a choice, really. But outside, have you ever seen Indians use Youku or Tencent Video instead of YouTube? Chances are you haven't even heard of this. So planning and money is not enough. You must pioneer a service. You must come up with an idea, a new idea, like TikTok did, with short vertical videos. They came up with it before Instagram and YouTube. Western governments have tried to suppress it, but TikTok remains unbeatable in the West. Similarly, experts say it's impossible to beat YouTube or Instagram or create alternatives that match up. What you can do, though, is keep an eye on the future, identify those technologies that will run the world tomorrow. That will give you leverage when you're stuck. These laughable finds will not.